Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In this session, we are going to get the information about 10th standard English medium social science in that business studies, chapter number 1, continued part of banking transactions. In the previous session, we get the information about the concept of banks, meaning of bank, characteristics of banks, functions of banks. Let's come to the continued part of banking transactions. Relationship between the bankers and customers. So the relationship between bankers and customers falls under two broad categories. So what are those? The very important, the concepts of relationship between bankers and customers. The majorly they have been classified into two parts. They are general relationship and special relationship. In general relationship, the very important aspects we are going to be identify, like general relationship, primary relationship. In general relationship, the services our bankers are providing, like debtors and creditor relationship. And in the second one, general relationship, subsidiary relationship, like trustee and beneficiary relationship. Usually in general relationship, those who are save their money, they will become as a debtor, and those who are getting the loans from bank, they are considered as the creditor relationship. Those who are saving the money, they are considered as a debtor relationship. Those who are getting the money from bank, they are become as a creditor relationship in the primary relationship. Whereas subsidiary relationship, like trustee and beneficiary relationship, if he is having the money, save the money, he has the trust, that is the intention, he saved his money in the place of bank. After saved money, it will become a beneficiary for others. Those who are customers, those who are having the bank account, they will get the beneficiary benefits from the bank, like subsidiary relationship. And banks are providing as a agent or principal relationship. That is the very important three concepts in general relationship. Whereas some special relationship, like obligation to honor checks. If he is 1 lakh check, just in a check leaf, if he is written and put the signature, banks will accept the check. And even obligation to maintain secrecy of accounts. No one will not to be get the details of a bank account without the permission of the bank account holder. So that is the secrecy will maintained by the banks. That is the special relationship it is having by the bankers with the customers. So these are the very important general relationship as well as special relationship. Let's come to the some of the very important services offered by banks, like debit cards and credit cards are providing by the banks to the customers, and personal loans will getting by the customers from the banks. And you have been used about the credit cards and debit cards. No need of explaining what is credit card and what is debit card. And personal loans, either it is a home loan, educational loan, personal loan, mortgage loan, car loan, business loan. So different kinds of loans you are going to be getting the benefits from the banks. Home loans and vehicle loans. So like different loans you are going to be getting the services from the banks. And even some of the mutual funds, if you are having money, you can deposit the money in the form of mutual funds. Safe deposit lockers. The banks are providing safety to your money, to deposit the safety deposit lockers. And then trust services. It is providing as a trust services. We can trust on the bank. For our money will be very safe in the custody of the banks. Then signature guarantees. Without signature, the banks won't accept any leaves. Either it is a check leaf, either it is a demand draft leaves, or any kind of acceptance of banks documents, it won't accept without signature. And e-banking. Nowadays, with the help of e-banking, we can, wherever we are sitting, we can transfer the money with the help of e-banking. So these are all the services are offered by banks. And the next concept of banking transactions, banks and post offices. First we are going to get banking transactions. Any sort of activity involving in money or exchange of money in an account is viewed as bank transaction. Once again, any sort of activity involving in money or exchange of money in an account is viewed as bank transaction. Banks are institutions that deal with money. Banks keep money of customers in the form of deposits, and the money thus collect is lent to the customers who need money as loans. So those who are having the money, they can save the money in the form of deposits. Those who need the loans, they can collect in the form of loans. These loans are called as bank loans. Banks lend money and collect some interest on loans. As a part of interest collected on loans is given to the deposits in the form of interest. This interest forms the income to the depositors. Banks invest the customers' money in national and international business and increase their funds. Whatever the depositors deposited their money, saved their money, that money will become as a investment for national and international business to increase their funds. So as the banking transactions, there will be all banking transactions in India are controlled by the Reserve Bank of India. So it is called as RBI. So this is known as mother of banks or bankers bank or Central Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India formulates the money policy which should be followed by all banks. Whatever the monetary policy will be formulates by RBI should followed by all the banks. Today we have State Bank Group, 20 nationalized banks, 21 private banks and 19 foreign banks. In that, the network of banks consists of 8,000 bank branches. There are rural banks, regional banks, government and private banks are also working in our India. So this is about the concept about banking transactions. Even some of the post offices also providing some of the services. Our Indian Postal Department is also working as a banking transaction. Let's come to the what is that? What are those? In recent development in banking industry is the inclusion of post offices into its fold. The Indian Postal Department is planning to start a bank to be tentatively called Postal Bank of India with a network of over 1.55 lakh post offices spread all over the India. 90% of them are in and around semi-urban and rural areas, because in India the villages are more in number, rural areas are more in number. The post offices working maximum in rural areas, so that banks won't reach to the rural areas. So the place of bank, post offices will performing as a role of banking transactions. So what are the services offered by the post offices? Among that, it is providing like national saving certificates, postal saving accounts, Kisan Vikas Patra. So these are some of the very important services are offered by post offices, like monthly recurring deposit, postal insurance, pensions, money transfer. So even monthly recurring deposits. So overall, banks, what are the services providing? The same services will be offered by the post offices, like RD, SB account, savings account, then postal insurance, and those who are retired government officers, they can be get the pensions with the post offices, and even we can transfer the money in post offices. Anyhow, the postal department is promoting a capital investment of rupees 1000 crores for the bank transactions. It will be set up as a subsidiary with the postal department. Along with the banking transactions, post offices are also performed as a banking transactions. So let's come to the which are the types of banks we can identify. So there are different types of banks. Each type of bank is specialized in different types of activities, and important types of banks are like even, so these are all the types of banks we have been studied in 9th standard, like Central Bank of India or Reserve Bank of India, it is called as RBI. So commercial banks, industrial development banks. Industrial development banks majorly providing the loans and development, especially for the industrial development. Land development banks, especially for the agricultural and related to land, it providing the loans to land development banks. Indigenous bankers, money lenders or sahukars. In rural areas, those who are providing the money lends are providing the loans, they are called as the indigenous bankers, or money lenders are sahukars. Even cooperative banks are also perform as a types of banks. So as I told, these banks details you have been learned in the economic section in the 9th standard. So once we can remember the types of banks. So that's it about today's session. I hope you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case of if you are having any doubts related to till now what we are discussed, please comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts and I will come back with the next session. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.